Hey guys, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be going over the 8 duties of a loan officer. So these are 8 things that I discovered every loan officer must have to not just be a successful loan officer, but to actually be a loan officer. These are the 8 duties, the 8 responsibilities of a loan officer. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, number 1 is sales. We're selling a product, we're selling mortgages, we're selling loans. So we need to know how to sell and the sales subject, the sales topic. We need to know all about it. A lot of times loan officers forget about this because they get caught up in the partnerships, and partnerships are great. They're one of the 8 parts to being a loan officer, which we'll go over later, but you can't just rely on those partnerships. You need to have and know sales. You need to know how to sell, how to close, how to follow up, all these things, how to present your product. So make sure that as a loan officer, you're dedicating time to sales, that you know sales. And a great reference for this, a great person to study if you want to become a great salesman is Grant Cardone. He's the best salesman on the planet. I'll have his university linked down below. I listen to his university, I watch his university every single day. And that helps me in my business as a loan officer because we're salespeople. So we got to know sales. That helps our business. You need to know how to ask the right questions, how to present your product. And then from there, you need to know how to negotiate, how to close, how to follow up. All these parts are part of the sales cycle, and that's what you need to know. You need to know the sales cycle to be a great loan officer. Okay, number 2 are systems. You need to have systems as a loan officer. You can't just be running around in circles like a headless chicken. No, you need to have systems. You got to be orderly to operate your business. If you think of a car manufacturing company, they have systems. If they don't have systems, if they don't have an order to do things, hey, step 1, hey, step 2, hey, step 3, hey, if step 3 goes wrong, do step 4B. You need to have these things in your business because if you don't, you're not going to have a business. You're going to run out of business. You're going to be confused. You're not going to be able to produce at high levels. If a car company wants to produce 20,000 cars, they got to have a system. They got to be orderly. They have to have systems in place if they want to do that. If they want to produce at a high level and with speed, which is what you want. You want to help a lot of people with speed. You want to get a lot of loans out with speed. And you want to get them out effectively and efficiently and the right way. This is step 1. This is step 2. This is step 3. This is what happens if step 3 goes bad. This is what happens when we're done with this. All these things you need to have in your business. So make sure that you have systems as a loan officer. If you don't, it's going to be very, very difficult for you to scale and be super successful. Number 3 are partnerships. These are important. I talk a lot about this in my other videos. As a loan officer, you should have partnership. You must have partnerships because a lot of our time is behind a desk, doing applications, doing scenarios, talking to the underwriter, talking to the processor. We don't have very much time to be out there prospecting. And that's why partnerships are important. They're critical. If you want to be a great loan officer, if you want to scale, you need partnerships because they're doing the prospecting. They're out there on the field. They're showing the homes. They're talking to people. They're doing the cold calls, the door knocks. So you need to have partnerships. Unless you want to do those things, which you can, but you'll find that once you start getting more deals, you're not going to have very much time for door knocking or for, 10, 20-hour prospecting days. You're not going to be able to do that. Whereas, your partners, your realtor partners or whatever partners you have, they will be able to do that for you successfully. And in return, what you're going to do is provide great service to their clients. You're going to take care of their clients. You're going to make sure those deals are closed. And you're also going to help them in that partnership because it's a partnership. That's another important thing that people don't understand about this realtor, real estate agent, and loan officer partnership is that it's a partnership. It's like a marriage. With the marriage, both people need to contribute to the marriage to create a great marriage. If it's just one person feeding the marriage, then that marriage is going to fall apart. Same with these partnerships. And that's why so many loan officers struggle with real estate agent partnerships. And if you want help with that, check out this video. I go over exactly how to work with more real estate agents. So make sure you check it out. But basically what you need to know is, hey, it needs to be an equal contributing relationship. It can't just be the real estate agent feeding you leads and you just sitting in your chair. It can't be like that because if it is like that, that agent's going to go somewhere else because they're going to be like, hey, this loan officer, all they do is just ask for leads. That's all they do. They don't provide any value for me. They don't help me out. They don't help us out. They don't help the partnership. So you want to make sure that you have partnerships and you also know how to create, establish, maintain partnerships. Number 4 is training. You can't assume that you know everything about the business. You can't assume that you know everything about a product. You can't assume you know everything about sales. You can't assume you know everything about systems yourself. You need to train yourself. You need to educate yourself on a regular basis. That's part of being a great loan officer. And a lot of people don't do this. They assume they know things. They assume they know sales. They assume they know their product. They assume they know what's going on in the economy. You got to educate yourself. We're talking about being a great loan officer here. We're talking about being a great loan officer. If you want to be that, if you want to do that, if you want to have that title, then you need to train yourself on a regular basis. I train myself every morning, Monday through Friday, even weekends. This is important. So make sure that this is part of your business. Block out some time every single day, Monday through Friday. You can do weekends as well, to dedicate time to training yourself, whether it be sales, communicating, role playing, understanding the products more, the sales game more, whatever, but you need to train yourself every single day. And it doesn't need to be for 3, 4, 5 hours a day. No, it could just be 1 hour a day, 15-minute segments, 30 minutes. It doesn't have to be 5, 10 hours. So don't be like, hey, I don't have time for training. No, you don't not have time for training. You got to train. You want to be a great loan officer, you have to train. This is important. You can help your clients out more like that. You can help your partners out more like that if you're trained. So make sure you're dedicating time every single day, Monday through Friday. Doesn't need to be long, but you do need to have training every single day. Like I said, it can be sales. I have a role play video right here, how to role play on your own if you don't have anyone to role play with. It can be product knowledge. It can be, sales training, stuff like that. But you need to train yourself every day. It's critical. Okay, number 5 is great service / help. You need to be that, do that as a loan officer if you want to be a great loan officer. You need to service your clients. You need to deliver great service, great attitude. Talk to them with a positive can-do attitude. Treat them well, treat them great, and help them. If you don't have this as a loan officer in your business, then you're not going to be a great loan officer. You got to be wanting, needing, doing the action of helping people, of delivering great service. Hey, what's in their best interest? You're trying to solve their problem. That's what they came to you for. Even that's what you came to them for, to solve their problems, to help them out. And if you're not doing that, you're not going to be in this business for very long. You're not going to be very successful in this business if you're not interested in helping and delivering great service. Hey, do what's in the best interest of your client. It's very simple. For example, if you're a doctor and my shoulder hurts, don't talk to me about my knee. I'm telling you my shoulder hurts. And if you start talking about my knee and how you're going to make my knee better, I'm going to go somewhere else because you're not helping me. Unless it has something to do with it, I don't think it does. Unless something has to do with it, then I don't want to hear that. And a lot of loan officers do that. They're not interested in helping the client. They're not interested in delivering great service, having the great attitude, and you need that as a loan officer. It's part of being a loan officer. I wouldn't even call yourself a loan officer if you're not doing this. And I'm going hard on you guys right now because this is important. We're dealing with people's lives right here. We're dealing with, huge investments, the biggest investments of these people's lives. So it's important that you have this that you want to help them, that you're doing the best thing for them. Deliver the great service and make sure you're doing what's in their best interest. Solve their problem. And I promise you, you will be the greatest loan officer on this planet. Okay, number 6 is the actual delivery of what you do. In this case, we sell loans and we put them through the mortgage process and we close them. So that's what we do. So we got to know how to do that. Hey, do you know how to open an escrow? Do you know how to take an application? Do you know how to close an escrow? Do you know what a processor is? Do you know what an underwriter is? Do you know this whole system, this whole space of the mortgage process, of how to get someone from application all the way to closing? Do you know that? You got to know that. It's part of the business. All these things are part of the business. So you want to make sure that you also know this. Hey, know the whole process beginning to end. Hey, what can happen here? What can happen where? And you will be a great loan officer. And this does take some time because it is a lengthy process. It's a big process. It's a process with a lot of communication lines. It's a process with, a lot of people in it. You got the title officer, you got the escrow, you got the agents, you got the insurance people, you have the bank, you have the underwriter, you have all these people. So it's going to take some time to learn, but you want to make sure that you know it. So dedicate time to knowing it. Ask the questions. Ask a lot of questions. Even if you're new, don't think, hey, I don't want to ask people questions. I don't want to, no. Hey, I'd rather be annoying and asking questions than be the person that's not delivering a great service to my clients. So think about that. Don't feel like you're bugging people by asking them questions. No, ask 1,000 questions. Make that your target. Hey, ask 1,000 questions your first week. Ask as much as possible so you can know as much as possible so you can help as much as possible. So you can know this process. You can know this process better of the escrow, delivering your service, then you can help more, right? We just talked about helping. You can help more if you know this process. If you don't know how to close their loan, how are you going to help them? So you can see how these are all connected and part of the bigger picture, the big pie of being a loan officer. You need to know those steps, what happens where, what to do when, and so forth if you want to be a great loan officer. Okay, number 7 is marketing. You need to market yourself as a loan officer. As a business person, you got to market. If you aren't marketing, you aren't getting attention. If you are getting attention, you aren't going to get business. It's very simple. So you want to make sure that you're also dedicating time to marketing. Hey, are you on social media platforms? If you have no social media as a loan officer, It's going to be very tough to be a great loan officer, to be a super successful loan officer, to build a sustainable business. Right now, if you exist on planet Earth and you're in business for yourself, you got to have social media platforms. That's part of marketing. You can do other things. You can have billboards, you can be on TV, you can be on the radio, but you need to market. It's important. You need to get attention. So yeah, make sure you're getting yourself out there. You're getting attention by marketing. Whether it be a podcast, videos, picture, be on every social media platform you can. Even if you don't know how to post, even if you don't know how to, put a good picture, just put a picture up there. Put a story up there. But do all these things, be on billboards, whatever, but you need marketing as a loan officer. If you don't have it, you're not going to get attention, like I said. And if you're not getting attention, you're not going to get business. And right now, it's a noisy world. It's super noisy. Everyone's getting blasted with all this noise, this information of this, cute cats, COVID, this, X, Y, Z. It's a bunch of noise. And if you aren't creating any noise, you're not going to get any business. And that's what these social media platforms are all about. Hey, getting noise, getting attention. Creating noise to get attention, to help people out, to solve their problems, to deliver your product. So you want to make sure you're marketing, be on social media platforms, get a podcast, whatever you got to do. It's up to you, but make sure that you're marketing. Okay, number 8 are ethics and accountability. You need to hold yourself accountable, and you got to be ethical. You got to be ethical with yourself. Hey, are you doing the best thing possible for yourself and your clients? Because if you're not, all these rest of the points that we went over in this video, they're not gonna, last for very long, or not even gonna happen. So all these points are interdependent. All these things that we went over in this video are critical, they're important. You gotta have all of them in. So this ethics part, this accountability part is important, because if you're not holding yourself accountable with your training, you're not gonna train. If you're not being ethical with the way you do business, you're not going to help your clients. So make sure that you're holding yourself accountable, or you have someone holding yourself accountable, whether it be a coach, a productivity coach, a team leader, but you need to hold yourself accountable. And it's always great when you have other accountability partners, and you can do this by meetings. For example, here at our office, every week we meet with our accountability coach. Hey, what are your numbers? Hey, what'd you do last week? Hey, what worked? What didn't work? What do we got to improve? What's working now that we can make better? These are things that you got to discuss if you want to be a great loan officer. You got to have these accountability meetings with yourself, and if you can, with another person. And also with your ethics. Hey, are you being ethical with yourself? Are you training yourself? Because if you're not training yourself, that's actually an unethical action. Because if you're not training, you can't deliver great service. You can't deliver great service, you can't help your clients. You can't help your clients, that's not ethical. Because you're not helping them out, you're not solving their problem. So you want to make sure that you have your accountability in and you have your ethics in. If you have those two things in and the rest of these things, you will be a great loan officer. And that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If it was helpful, comment down below, leave a big thumbs up, and subscribe for more content just like this. Like I said, I've been in this industry for some time now, and I've dedicated thousands of hours to this. And I've discovered these parts, these 8 parts that are fundamental, that are critical to actually be a loan officer. If you don't have one of these in, I wouldn't even bother calling yourself a loan officer, because all these are interdependent, they're important. So hopefully that was helpful. Be great, you guys. Thank you so much for all your support. I make videos on life improvement, real estate, and entrepreneurship. Thanks again so much for your time. See you in the next video, and be great.